Hey everyone, today we're diving into a hot topic. Is AI's training data ethically sourced? To answer this, let's look at some real-world examples to see the truth behind the curtain. First, what do we mean when we say AI training data? It's the massive collection of text, images, and videos that companies use to teach artificial intelligence how to understand and create language, pictures, and more. But where does all this data come from? Let's dig in. Many AI companies are secretive about their exact sources, but a typical example of AI training data consists of text pulled from across the internet, public domain books, and research articles, free sources that researchers stumble upon, and even some pretty surprising stuff. Here are some surprising real examples. Researchers have used the entire email database of Enron, a company that collapsed after a massive fraud scandal, as part of training material for AI. Why? Simply because this database was made freely available, and it's a huge trove of real-world email conversations. So your AI assistant might have learned email etiquette from Enron's former executives. Strange, right? For visual AI models like OpenAI's Sora, companies are starting to pay for data. OpenAI has a multi-year agreement to license huge volumes of images and videos from Shutterstock for training. This means some content is, in fact, ethically acquired, at least where the rights are clear. But when pressed about whether Sora was trained on videos from platforms like YouTube or Facebook, OpenAI wasn't transparent, raising questions about other, potentially less ethical sources. Another key question: who labels and cleans all this data? Often it's low-paid workers doing difficult or even traumatic work to identify toxic content. OpenAI, for example, paid outsourced workers in Kenya less than $2 an hour for this, while their own researchers sometimes earn millions. This raises deep ethical concerns about labor exploitation. Artists discovered their work was being used to train AI image generation models without their consent. Tools like Have I Been Trained let artists check if their creations are in these datasets. This has led to a wave of concern and even legal action by artists who feel their creative labor has been co-opted for AI models. As you can see, the answer is complicated. Sometimes content is licensed, other times it's scraped from the internet or public datasets without consideration for creators or workers. But recently, there's growing attention to how the use of such datasets impacts those whose work fuels AI systems. An issue that started receiving broad scrutiny after ImageNet's release in 2009, which included tons of internet-collected images, often without the subject's or photographer's knowledge. So, is AI's training data ethically sourced? Sometimes yes, but often there's a lot of murkiness. We need more transparency and better compensation for both creative and manual labor that makes AI possible. Tech is not immune from historic power imbalances, and as users, creators, and citizens, we should keep asking these questions.